Hi! I feel like I do that so odd. But my name's Abby, and this is going to be a podcast. And it's going to be called What's Good, Y'all? On this podcast, we're basically going to talk about what's good, what's going on, all the good stuff going on. Sorry, I'm still learning how to hold this thing. But basically, I'm just going to talk about good books, good movies, good TV shows. And honestly, once I get a following and they start to want to tell me, hey, you should watch this show, watch this movie, read this book, I'll do it. And then I'll do a little review. And biggest thing to remember, these are all my opinions. Your opinion is valid just as much as mine is. I just like on TikTok, I love to watch videos of people giving book reviews, telling me this is why I liked it and this is why I didn't. Now your taste might be this, so you might like it. I have never DNF'd a book, so that's pretty nifty of me. I will usually, even if I'm not into the book, I'll still try and finish the book. Or same thing with a show. I have stopped watching a show actually because I didn't like it. It was like a cartoon show though. It wasn't really good. I don't know how. It was replacing an old show and it just made it awful. But yeah. So I have DNF'd a show, but not a movie. I'm usually a really good movie person. But this first video is basically just to talk a little bit about what we're going to talk about on the podcast and my first official episode. This is going to be the first episode of the podcast, but my first official episode will be about an Abby Glines book because honestly, Abby Glines is not talked about enough. And I'm not looking at the camera a lot because I don't like to look at myself. I know that's weird, probably, but I'm the person who, if I look at myself, I sit there and go, oh, you need to do this. You need to do this different, stuff like that. But a little bit about me. I'm Abby, like I said before, but you might have missed it. And I am 25 years old. I've always wanted to start a podcast. It just seemed like something fun to do, and they're really in right now, so might as well, right? I am, for my full-time job, I am a marketing director of 2 car dealerships in Tennessee. I go to work daily from 8 to 4:30, so it's not really an 8 to 5. It's just 30 minutes extra. We do videos daily on Facebook. We do TikToks. I'm not really in them because I'm behind the camera, so this is also why I don't like to be in front of the camera. Because I'm more of the, let me record you, let me get the content, let me edit the content, and then go from there. Again, I am brand new at podcasts, so it might take me a little bit to get used to this, and it might take me a little bit to really get the editing tools down for it. I've always wanted to stream on Twitch and stuff, but that is a little bit later, I feel like. Because YouTube, you kind of can just watch videos and you can listen to a podcast if you wanted to, but you don't have to. Which, I'm really into podcasts, so I'm hoping that this works out. And I didn't spend money on this mic for nothing. But even if I did, I'm going to have fun doing it, so that's all that really matters. And whoever makes fun of me, they make fun of me because I know most of my friends are probably, I should say friends, are probably making fun of me because they're just why are you doing this? And I'm just you know what? Because it makes me happy. I don't ask you why you do stuff. So, if you're happy, and I'm glad. But enough of that. So, one big thing I want to do is tell you about one of the books. Is the first book I'm going to review is called Until Friday Night, and it's by Abby Glines. She is one of my favorite all-time authors. She is a young adult author, but some of her books I feel are a little too steamy for young adults. I would not have been reading this in middle school or elementary, or not elementary. I mean, I might have read it in high school, but it still would have been very, late high school, I guess. Some young adult books I feel are a little too steamy, but there again, my opinion. Yours might be different. So I'll be doing the entire Field Party series from Abby Glines. There's 7 books in it. And then I'm going to talk about the Natural series because I just finished that. And then I'll probably do. I read this one book in middle school, I think. I don't remember exactly when I read it, so I'd have to reread it. Which I reread it a few summers ago. I know that because I took it to the beach. Because it's a really good beach read, and it's called Island Girls, and then like inferences. It's like and boys, because it's about just these kids. Well, I don't want to get into it right now because they're not really kids. They're young adults though. They're like somewhere for the summer. They're on an island basically. But I don't remember like exactly all the details, so I'd have to reread it. But I do know that it's a good one. And on my TikTok, I literally put like that one should have got a sequel. Like if anything should have got a sequel to a book, that one. Because you kind of just like want to know what happens to him at the end. I always am. That's why in the Field Party series, Abby Glon's last book is called The Last Field Party. And it literally wraps up every single book. And it gives you like their happy ending or what happened to them afterwards and kind of a little backstory of them. And it made me happy. That one gave me a book hangover. I did not know like what to do, which it took me, because I just didn't want the book to end. It took me almost like 2 months to finish the book, even though I had read it like to the last chapter on the dot. I said no, I can't do it, and I left that last chapter, so I ended up having to reread the whole book again because I waited so long. But it was so fun. I'll have my boyfriend on here some. I do have a boyfriend. Almost 2 years in February. His name's Parker. He helps me with my book obsession. He buys me books. He helps me reorganize my bookshelves. He's the one who also talked me into doing a podcast because he was like, "Who cares? Just do what you want." Another little bit about me is I am a very big Christian. I love God. I love to talk about God. I might even like throw in some Bible studies just here and there, or even just like read a few verses. That would be good. I haven't really decided like what all I really want to do and everything like that. I just really want to start like filming and making content and just getting out there, and just like if it goes somewhere, it goes somewhere. If it don't, it don't. It's just for fun. But whenever I talk about God though, like I would love to do some Bible studies for it and like talk about Esther. Esther is like a big one that I want to talk about. She's just such like a bold person. She's bold in faith. She's bold in her appearance, and like I did a little bit of a story on her in my Sunday school because I'm a Baptist. We have Sunday school. And I did a little lesson on her and like how she was bold and how she put all of her faith into God and just like the little things that she did. And it made me really think like, man, we should all be like Esther. Like we should be more like Esther. And like everybody wants to be a probs. Oh gosh, I'm gonna mess this up because now I'm on the spot. Probs 31 girly, I think. Wifey, all that stuff. But like in all reality, I want to be an Esther. I want to be bold in faith. I want to be able to tell everyone about it, and I want to be able to back my stuff up. Because a lot of times that's what happens with like us Christians is like we know our stuff. It's just we get caught off guard. I think, at least for me, like if I get caught off guard and I'm like, I know this question, like they can ask me something totally random, and I know the answer to it, but I'm just like, oh gosh, that's so off guard. I don't know what to say. And then it's like, see, you don't know your stuff, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, hold on. I do. You just caught me off guard type of thing, But I am very excited to start this podcast. So the biggest thing is, I guess I'm going to say welcome to What's Good, y'all. And I guess we'll see where it all leads us. So the scenery might change too, because I tend to gravitate towards comfy areas. And if I did my desk, my closet would be behind me because I have an open concept closet in my room because of how my room's laid out. So you might get my air unit, my light, and then I'll also have the books with me too, but like they're cutesy on my shelf right now. So I'm trying to think of anything else I can tell you all about me. I just graduated. That is one thing. I also have ADHD, like, pretty bad. And if you ask my boyfriend, he will literally tell you I will jump from section to section. That's why he said he was so excited to watch my podcast, because I tend to jump, and to see how many people actually can follow me while I jump from section to section, which me and my cousin Carolyn, like, we used to. We haven't really, like, been super close lately, but when we would go to the gym before school, we would be, like, sitting there talking to each other, and she has ADHD, but some of our sentence wouldn't, like, come out, I guess. And I don't know how to exactly understand it, but, like, we would understand what we were talking about, and we would keep the conversation going like that. And, like, Parker looks at me weird whenever I forget stuff in my sentence, and I'm like, why are you looking at me like that? I said it because I said it in my head. I didn't say it out loud. So I forget most of my important things in my sentence. Like, I could literally be talking about a book, and I could be like, yeah, the book was great. Or, like, not even like that. I don't even know. Like, it just happens sometimes. So if it happens, forgive me. But Parker will be here usually with me to start the podcast so that he can be like, hey, babe, you didn't say that. And I'll be like, oh, okay, and then backtrack. But I'm hoping this also helps me get out of my reading slump, because a lot of these books I have read before, so I'm just going to do a little review on them. But I'm hoping this gets me excited again to read, because I have a full shelf of TBR just staring at me. And I'm going to the bookstore this weekend with Parker. And I was like, I have to get more books. I just want more books. But I am going to read them. I have them in order. So I will definitely read them. I think someone's here. These headphones pick up a lot of static too, so I think someone's here. And then I'm like, maybe not. But, see, I'm doing it now. I guess I don't really have anything else to say. Besides, I hope you enjoy my podcast, and I hope you subscribe to my channel so that you can be notified whenever I post a podcast. I'm hoping to post weekly. They won't be super long episodes, but sometimes I do ramble about my favorite books, and the first book we're going over is my favorite book. Like, hands down, one of my favorite books. And so I'll probably be going over that one for a good little bit, but I'm hoping to keep them kind of short, because I know, like, my attention span, it gets gone within, like, 30 minutes. Maybe less sometimes. So if they're short episodes, forgive me. I'm nervous, and I want this to, like, do good and everything. And everybody at my work, Emily is at my work, and she was like, just do it, I promise, do it. And she was like, I'll support you. And I was like, all right, cool, works for me. So this is going to be a go. So we're just going to try it, and we're going to love it, and that's going to be that. Oh, one big thing, my boyfriend's going to make me a Lego as a bookshelf, because we ordered this Lego and we get the free Lego, and it's a book. It's a book thing. See, random squirrel moment there. I just thought about it because I'm sitting here looking at my shelves. But I hope you come along this journey with me to What's Good, y'all. And I hope that you enjoy as we progress and make this podcast 10 times better, make the intros cooler, just kind of eye-catching, I guess, because I just like to talk to people, and honestly, this is the easiest way to talk to someone without having to look at someone too, and just kind of like having fun with it, and just, how else are you going to find your dreams if you don't chase them, right? So once you get an idea in your head of what dreams you want to do, just go for it. Like, the worst you're going to have is, like, you're not going to have it. And when you start, you already don't have it. So what's the risk? Like, you could get it, you might not. You started without it before, so go for it. If that makes sense. I hope it made sense, because it did in my head. But that's kind of also why I started the podcast, because I was talking to some people at work, and I was like, you know what? I want to start a podcast, so I'm going to start looking into stuff like how to start a podcast. And I did, and I found a mic, and I figured out how to stream. So honestly, go after your dreams, because no one else is going to get them besides you. So, there's my little tea spill. But I hope you come along on this journey with me as we go through what's good, y'all. And I'm hoping, one day I could do that and it's going to pop up. But I'll work on it. So, the next episode will probably be posted next week. I'm going to try and record it next week. So, let's hope that it gets good. And I'm going to try and post them probably either Tuesday or Thursday. And maybe some weeks, I can post 2 episodes. Who knows? We'll try it. But can't wait. So, what's good, y'all? I hope you stick around.